Welcome to another live episode of Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle. I'm your host, Charles Douglas, and we're here at the Digital Media Center on the campus of Southern Oregon University, live on RVTV Voices to the whole wide world. And really want to thank you for joining us and for supporting live, local, original music here in the Rogue Valley in our glorious state of Jefferson. Again, if you want to find out more about the musicians on tonight and on all of our shows, check out facebook.com/South Oregon, because we're all about South Oregon, and we're all about, well, our first guest tonight, which is Alexis Hatfield. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Thank you, Charles.
Really appreciate it.
My great honor.
Alexis came this way once more from Pennsylvania via San Diego, where you were involved with the Occupy movement, I understand.
I was indeed.
Where did Occupy San Diego actually set up base camp?
It started in a park, and then I moved to City Hall, which we had renamed Freedom Plaza.
Nice.
And it was right outside the mayor's window, so he could see all the mess that he was contributing to.
All's fair in love and war. and really, the Occupy movement was all about the people rising up and kind of getting in the face of the politicians and the powers that be.
Indeed.
I got to see quite a bit, more than I bargained for, at Occupy Eureka downtown, right in front of the courthouse there. Saw a bit of Occupy Arcata, and then also down in the Bay Area, Occupy San Francisco, and they were camped right around the Federal Reserve Building. I remember going down there one afternoon, and they were doing not just protesting, not just holding signs and having sit-ins and discussion groups, but they were doing performance art, right there on the main road. So definitely art and activism were very much joined at the hip in that movement.
Very much so, yeah. It was very striking and inspiring to spend my life feeling like I don't fit, and then find a group of people that don't fit and have been cast aside, and just to really to lift each other up and to be able to hold space with each other, and not just oh, here's the woe. It's what can we do about it? Creating solution. And it was really one of the most important things I got to participate in.
Not to get too political, since obviously we're a music show first and foremost, but if we're the 99%, we're being left behind politically, economically, then at some point it's not us that don't fit, it's the people in charge who don't fit. And that counts not just in our political and our economic systems, but musically as well. If you look at the pop music, corporate machine and the kind of values they promote, they've actually proven scientifically that the complication, if you analyze the lyrics even scientifically, the reading level has sunk as far as the top 40 list in the last couple of decades.
That's what sells. I mean, that's how we get security systems, and that's how we get hooked on pharmaceuticals and are completely numbed and poisoned by our food, quote unquote. It is a lot more profitable for us to be ignorant than it is for us to be inspired and want to be holistic in the true sense of living holistically.
So I'm playing the show coming up in Williams on March 20th with the rest of your band. That kind of does marry the two pretty blatantly together. I understand they're trying to address some of the real environmental concerns with air pollution and with, let's just say, put it out there, geoengineering, atmospheric modification, which
Absolutely.
As much as people might want to spin that as a conspiracy theory, if there was a conspiracy theory, why is it such a secret? Why would patents be out there in order to do these things, right?
And it's really sad and frightening, but we're kept in the dark, and it's time to rip off the veil and expose these things and really just shine the light. And it doesn't have to be violent. It's just look up. It's right here, and we are the solution. We just have to commit to it and really walk it.
Well, we're all about solutions from a perspective of trying to build a community of live local music, and that's why we've brought you here tonight, is to really share, your beliefs as you put them into song. What would you say about your next track, as far as what you're the message you're kind of trying to get across?
I just wrote this song a couple of days ago, so I figured since I'm being real vulnerable, I'd just go full out. This song is about Kokopelli, the deity of fertility and harvest, and it's kind of a love song, but it's really just, I don't really like to say what the songs are when I muse them, because it's not about like what I think about it. What does it mean to you? So I don't really like to explain my lyrics because then it just limits it. It puts it back in a box. So it is what it is, and you tell me what it means.
All right, so that's a challenge to our viewing audience. Let's hear a track again live on Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle. This is Alexis Hatfield.
I am Coca-Pele. There are herds of children behind me, though they all are my sons and daughters. I have never taken a lover. I am Coca-Pele. You will hear me on the horizon, and I will dance seeds into your gardens that you will have to harvest, and the plants grow under my feet, and the winds carry in the seeds, and it all flutes back to me, and I roam alone and free. I am Coca-Pele. You will hear me on the horizon, and I will dance seeds into your gardens that you will have to harvest. And these sounds come from the emptiness, and me flute speaks to the silence. Well, these sounds come from the emptiness, and me flute speaks, fills the silence, and the plants grow under my feet, and the winds carry in the seeds, and it all flutes back to me, and I roam alone and free. I am Coca-Pele. You recognize me from my silhouette, and I will father all of your children. They lay with you and dream of me. Lay with you and dream of me. I am Coca-Pele. There are herds of children behind me, though they all are my sons and daughters. I have never taken a lover, and the plants grow under my feet, and the winds carry in the seeds, and it all flutes back to me, and I roam alone and free. I am Coca-Pele. You recognize me from my silhouette, and I will father all of your children. They lay with you and dream of me. They lay with you and dream of me. I am Coca-Pele. There are herds of children behind me, and though they all are my sons and daughters, I have never taken a lover. I am Coca-Pele. You will hear me on the horizon, and I will dance seeds into your gardens that you will have to harvest, that you will have to harvest, that you will have to harvest.
Wow. Live on Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle, that is Alexis Hatfield. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And again, where can folks find more of your original music online?
I am on the Bandcamp and SoundCloud. If you put 9 Skies into the search engine, SN, or it's the number 9, and then SKYS. SKYS.
Right on. 9 Skies, check it out online, and check us out online. We're at facebook.com/South Oregon, Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle. Brainchild of Michael Hoover is over there in the control room, just really knocking it out of the park. All volunteer crew here at Rogue Valley Community Television that make this show and so many of these kind of shows a reality here on RVTV for the whole community to enjoy. And right now, I'd like us all to enjoy an original track after a brief chat with our next musician, Jess Thompson. Come on stage, please. Again, Jess Thompson was on our last live show, and bringing her on back. And Jess, thanks so much for sharing your work with us.
I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
And Jess, you were letting us know in our last episode about how your work as a nurse, as a healer, has really inspired your work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what brought me down to the Rogue Valley. The other thing that's been a really deep inspiration for me has been traveling, and I think that's one of the things that got me to start learning medicine was, you go to a third world country. That's such an old way to say it, but like I lived in Nicaragua with a family for a while, and one of the ways you knew if you were rich in Nicaragua was if you had a floor, and so the kind of perspective you get on that kind of thing, and then you go and you sit with persistent problems. You look at global poverty. You look at environmental catastrophes. You look at extinction of species, and you think about like, okay, how do you take that on in your life? And when you're
such huge issues.
Yeah,
how does
absolutely.
any of us take it on?
And like I definitely had the experience, coming back from living in Mexico and being like so inspired. I spent all this time in Oaxaca and Chiapas and like hanging out with Zapatistas and like all of these like people from all over the world who are putting together movements around activism and community building, really, and taking this on at the grassroots. And I came back home. I'm from LA. Spent a summer with my family sitting around LA and just lost it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna change the world, except I'm broke and I don't have. What am I gonna do? I have no idea. And so the answer has been learn medicine, and the answer has been make music, and the answer has been toxicology. I used to do biology before I did this. I thought I wanted to be a scientist, and so I still write articles. I still use that, to try and share that knowledge. And so, yeah, finding a way to create something new, because the status quo is destroying our world, and I love this world. So let's fix it together.
Almost got a laugh to keep from crying right now. I mean, when you say third world and how that's such an old term, you think maybe developing world, but what are they developing towards? What we have, is that all that much developed?
Right,
maybe it's colonized world, but to what extent has our culture been so colonized and corporatized that we've lost whatever original spark our civilization used to have in a way? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and I've done a lot of traveling. In the last year, I went to China. I went to Brazil, and it's been shocking. They're no longer poorer than us. China and Brazil both are, are world powers, deeply industrialized. China, their economy is kicking our ass. You go to Shanghai and you walk around, and there are skyscrapers going up all over. They have 2 of the tallest buildings in the world. Everything's very high tech. They're hiring architects from everywhere. People in Shanghai are speaking all kinds of languages and coming from the recession here. Super highly educated people just not really able to find any kind of work. Like, China's kicking our ass, but they're paying a really high price. And then Brazil, similar. Like, Brazil is struggling with oligarchy in a deep way. Like, they're a lot like us.
Wow. I was going to say, we don't know anything about that, right?
I mean, like, really, they are the largest country on their continent. They have this colonial history, which we don't think of ourselves as a colonial country because we, the Americans, became the colonizers instead of Europeans being the colonizers. But it's similar. You know, you have these East Coast industrial cities colonizing the Wild West, and you have Indians and all of that. And, you know, in Brazil, it's the Amazon and the Andes instead of the Rocky Mountains and the Apaches and everything, you know. But same story, and they struggle with a lot of the same things. They had a huge slave trade in Brazil also, and so the similar like history of slavery and then persistent problems with racism that exist today.
So your next track, how much would you say it's informed by some of these experiences, learning 4 languages, getting down all around the Americas, and seeing, you know, how the rest of the world, developed or otherwise, is really going through life?
Yeah, this is a song I wrote in an airport, actually. Planning that trip to China, I had a partner, and man, I almost married, and it didn't work because I traveled too much. You know, I didn't stay. But yeah, this was a love song for him. We met in the airport in Portland for like 1 hour on my way to do some work on the other side of the country.
All right, Jess Thompson right here live on Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle. Take it away.
When you're miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles away, I sometimes lose your face. When you're miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles away. Almost 5 years now. I'll make you late again by wanting you to stay. Kiss you from the platform while you're standing on the train. distance is not so long compared to the course of our lives.
Almost speechless. That was incredible. Jess Thompson right here, live on Southern Oregon Songwriters Circle.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks.
Thank you. And again, you can find out more. Is it Bootstrings?
Yes, my stage name is Bootstrings. So you can find my solo stuff at bootstrings.bandcamp.com.
Bootstrings.bandcamp.com. You know, I think we got just enough time for one last song if we want to bring in both our musicians. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
okay, let's do it. Again, you're watching live on RVTV Voices. Tonight is Friday, March 4th, and I believe these two will be on stage on Saturday, March 5th at Club 66. If you're around Ashland, come on down.
That's good. Yeah, we work together. We have a band called Spun by Monks.
Spun by Monks, and you can look that up on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the better half of Spun by Monks. Let's hear one more song to close out the show.
Beyond the hypocrisy, the lies, deceit, beyond the worship of materialism, decadence, greed, beyond the many bolts and a locked doors and eyes, we the people liberated as we rise. Fuel, transform, fire with all the data point at me. Recognize a smile when I allow myself to be. Every moment of peace I feel, I create a moment of peace for all people to protect the world we wanna see so easily. Manipulated by the imposed policy, we are not meant to be. Such the economy as it fluctuates, so does our will to be. So quickly we return to business as usual. Little mind paid to the ocean, filling up with forgot reality TV. Tell us what we're feeling, no room to care or wonder who the government's killing, inadvertently supporting the devil. We don't know what's in our whitened teeth and in our fancy clothes, in the food we can afford due to inflation, without considering the drop in wages. Life is malleable, we don't need to struggle. If you profit from pain, we're here to burst your bubble with our minds sharpening even as we soften. We'll not sit quiet as they build convenient coffin where we on the sea so easily manipulated by the imposed policy. We are not meant to be slaves to anything. Open up way up to every reality. This love is ours, baby, no room for suffering. Every choice making be liberating. Your heart is answering your heavy questioning. Here, question for you: are you listening? Oh, are you listening? Oh. We the people, free the people. Do not be afraid to be the people. We the people, free the people. Do not be afraid to be the people. We the people, free the people. Do not be afraid to be the people. We the people, free the people. Do not be afraid to be the people. We gotta be the ones to create the change. We are the only ones here. We will not be contained, ignored, or denied any longer. Through unity, we all get stronger. Our words are weapons. We're warriors of peace. Come balance with love this fear disease. We bring no harm, no damage will be done. This is our anthem. All people are one. All people are one. All people are one. What we wanna see so easily manipulated by the imposed policy. We are not meant to be slaves to anything. Open up way up to every reality. This life is ours, baby, no room for suffering. Every choice making be liberating. Your heart is answering your heavy questioning. Here, question for you: are you listening? Oh, are you listening? Oh. We the people, free the people. Do not be afraid to be the people. We the people, free the people. Do not be afraid to be the people. We the people, free the people. Do not be afraid to be the people. We the people, free the people. Do not be afraid to be the people. How could you be the people and just be the people? And we'll free the peace, and we'll be the peace.
Free the people.
With people.
And that's Jess Thompson and Alexis Hatfield. Big old smiles on our stage. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And we're about to wrap it up here on Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle. Just about to get the old hook from the director there. But I want to thank our director and producer tonight, Michael Hoover, rocking it there in the control room, along with Jess Eells-Adams. Got David Wilson, Alexander McGlasson rocking it out here on the floor. Austin Halvorsen contributed our graphics. Just so many people working hard, volunteering hard to make Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle a reality. Check it out on facebook.com/South Oregon. And check out, these fine musicians here. Again, where can we find you on SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Facebook, all that good stuff?
9 Skies.
9 Skies?
Number 9, SKYS on Bandcamp and SoundCloud.
Awesome.
And bootstrings at bandcamp.com. And then check out our band. We've got a show tomorrow night, Spun by Monks.
Spun by Monks, that's coming up March 5th, 9 p.m. at Club 66. Also coming up March 20th down in Williams for the Clear Skies project. Is that correct?
Blue Skies.
Blue Skies, pretty close. As well as, March 25th, was it?
26.
26th, back at 66 as well. Again, thanks for tuning in. Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle.
See you tomorrow, kids.
See you tomorrow, kids, or if not, you stay classy, Southern Oregon.